Hello and welcome to the Awaken Feminine podcast. I'm 𝐉𝐵𝐵, and today I have the beautiful Jara Geipel with me. She is a money mindset coach and hypnotherapist. Welcome back to the show, Jara.
Hello, 𝐉𝐵𝐵 and everyone else. Yeah, I'm so excited to be here again for the second time in your podcast. And yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this conversation with you.
I'm really excited to have you here because I love talking about money, as you know, and I know this will be a wonderful conversation. And yeah, so I know before we jumped on, I was like, "Oh, you don't have your baby on," because I remember you you have such a vivid memory in my mind because the first time you came on, I was like, "You're wearing your baby? Why is she like not crying? She's like this little angel." And then I was like, "Oh, you don't have your baby on you." And then she's like actually there. Her hair's poking out, if you can
Yeah.
see. I was like, that is amazing.
Yeah, and just like you said just before the call, she got trained to be quiet like this when I'm on a call. And yeah, maybe that sounds a bit like, you know, but well, I started my business almost 4 years ago, and she is now 2.5. That means she was a newborn when I was like building my business. And yeah, actually, at the beginning, when she was a newborn, I really had doubt and I was just about to give up because I felt like I can't do this, business with a baby. What if she cries? What if she interferes? But she never interrupted or messed up any of my calls. She's just sitting here quietly, and yeah, it's beautiful. It's just amazing. She is this little angel, yeah. So when you see her hair here,
Absolutely.
yeah, she's here.
I just absolutely, it just fascinates me. And I'm just so in awe of you because it is like, I mean, I really believe as mothers, we can, like, our children can doesn't have when especially as mothers starting businesses, we'll think, oh, our children are going to get in the way, but I mean,
Mm.
yours obviously is just
Yeah.
she's just supporting you, and people remember, like I remember, that's how I remember, like, oh, Yara's got her baby, and that's and that really is
Yeah.
inspiring. Yeah. So, Yara, I've asked you this question before the first time you came here, but it is a question that is mandatory when you come on my podcast. And it's probably changed since the last time you were here. And that question is, what is your current definition of the awakened feminine?
My current definition of the awakened feminine, I would say that is about being aware and becoming more aware and awake about who we are, like who we are as a woman, but also all these parts that we are, a woman, mother, business owner, but also a human here on this planet, like really. And I mean, that is a journey in everyday life, becoming more and more aware about, yeah, that we are so much more as well than what we think, even more than our thoughts or our feelings or all these definitions that we give ourselves. And waking up as well to seeing that what we see out there in the world is by far not everything. And there's so much more going on, in the world, even beyond the world. And so within us as well. Yeah, so that is, in short, what I would say is an awakened person or mind, but also, yeah, an awakened woman or the awakened feminine.
Mm, I love that definition. And yeah, I totally resonate with that. It's really becoming more of who we are and not worrying about all the labels and knowing our
Mm,
potential and remembering our potential, and that we can do what, anything that we, set our
yes.
minds to. So, Yara, when I got you to fill in your questionnaire to come back on my podcast, you wanted to name our podcast episode The Power of Clearing Money Blocks and How to Unlock Your Earning Potential. And when I read
Yes.
that title, I was like, whoo, that is some juicy, juicy topic because I mean, we all have some kind of money block and we all want to unlock our earning potential. So I just, yeah, absolutely love this topic. But I'll really love for you, if you don't mind, to share with our audience your money journey of clearing your money blocks and your earning potential so that we have an understanding of, why this is such a passion of yours to talk about.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I can say that in my childhood, that main theme, the main energy and vibe in our household around money was we don't have enough. There is not enough. We don't make enough, you know? I'm the oldest of three children. And yeah, when I was young, my father, he's an architect. He worked from home, but he started his own business. So that is a journey of years to build that up, as we know. And yeah, I still remember, like the anxiety and deep desperation from my mother because she was in such a scarcity thinking and scarcity energy, constantly worrying about we don't have enough. And my father always tried to make that good with a smile, but it was actually a denial. So I remember he often said, it will be fine, and he smiled. But actually, yeah, there was a denial because he didn't really want to look at it. Was too painful to look at the situation, how it really is, and that he couldn't afford for us what he wanted. So that was a huge, yeah, that was actually the theme around money, how I grew up. And now I can say that feeling not worthy, feeling not good enough, feeling like we don't deserve money and riches is actually the most common and strongest money blocks that I see as well in other women that holds them back. So then when I grew older in my adult lives, I mean, I did many different things, from many years in hospitality, and I traveled the world, and I became a hypnotherapist, and then I went into coaching. I did years of meditation and spiritual trainings as well. So it was like an up and down with the income that I earned in my life. I had times where I really earned a lot of money and had financial freedom. But then at some points, the scarcity kicked in again. And that is when I started to dig deeper. And then especially 4 years ago, when I got trained to become a hypnotherapist and did also the training from Marissa Peer and RTT, that is when I really went deeper into discovering my own relationship to money and really look deeper and get to understand actually where that comes from. Get clarity, how my childhood and also even my mother's emotion, for example, how that affected me. And then when I started to build my business, that is when I, of course, got in touch with many women, many coaches and entrepreneurs. And I saw that most of them, I would say 90% of them, they have some tension around money. There are some concerns, there is some scarcity thinking, or some unhealthy beliefs around money or getting rich or earning money. So yeah, I mean, in my training to become a hypnotherapist, I got a lot of sessions myself, so I went deep, did the healing work around that. And over the years of all this deep inner work and the personal development and the healing sessions, yeah, I got to overcome a lot of my own money blocks. I believe, though, this is a lifelong journey because just like the inner work, I mean, we grow, we develop every day, right? And our mind is like we are wired to stay in the familiar, to stay where we are, because our mind's number one's job is to make us survive here on this planet by keeping us safe. But that means also keeping us stuck. So if we want to move forward, if we want to expand, we want to grow, create success, then we need to really get clear how we can bring our mind to support us to move into that direction, because our mind wants to hold us back, you know? So the more aware we can become about our thoughts, beliefs, and then also feelings, the better we can move forward and really choose the beliefs that support us. And that is what I learned. And that is the journey I'm on, and where I'm passionate to really help others. Because once you got it, how you can talk to your mind, how you can actually make your mind work in your favor and not let it run you, that is when it becomes a little easier, because it becomes, let's say, normal for you every day, to be the leader of yourself, to be the leader of your own mind. And so now, since good 3.5 years in my business, I can really say that I've got a solid growth-orientated, solution-orientated thinking, which is the basis for everything. And I got a good structure in my business. And I sign clients every month, and my income is also increasing continuously. So it feels like really it was worth it, to put in all the work and to just continue through all the moments where I doubted myself, where there was frustration, where I thought of giving up.
That's so cool. And I just love that, you kept on this journey, and you can see as you are clearing more and as you step more into who you are, that, your income's increasing and things are, getting better. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
You talked about most of the women that you work with, their biggest money block is that they don't deserve it. Or they're not
Yeah.
good enough to receive
Mm-hmm.
money.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a bit more about, maybe why that is the case, or what you found in your, in your travels, in your experience? What makes women think that they don't deserve money?
Yeah, I love that question and that topic, because I see that it comes up so very often, especially we women, I mean, we have a deep conditioning that goes back not only 10 or 20 years, but generations and centuries. We got conditioned, to be fine with just a little bit, to not ask for more, to be at home, to give, to provide, to be there for the family, to keep the household going and to raise the children and to be a good wife. But that we are allowed to acknowledge our own wants and needs, and to say, yes, this is what I would love, just because it makes me feel good, just because it's fun. That wasn't really there, that wasn't really even accepted. So I see nowadays, even many women, they feel guilty or they feel shame when they catch themselves desiring a wealthy lifestyle or having more or doing like really extraordinary things, because that's not what we learned, how we should be as a woman, and I think that's where it goes back to feeling worthy, feeling like we deserve it, because really we got conditioned to sacrifice ourselves, our own wants and needs, our own energy, whatever, and give it to others. Of course our children come first, but at some point even we ourselves come first, because the better we are, the better we can care for others and also for our children. Of course, we know that. So that's where I think it comes from, that we don't feel worthy. It's just a really deep conditioning.
Mm, yeah, I totally agree that it is, yeah. A long history. It's kind of like in our
Mm,
DNA that we just
yeah,
don't feel worthy. So
yeah.
what are some of the things say, if I recognize, I'm like, oh, after listening to you going, oh, actually, oh, that's true. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel deserving. What are some tools
Mm.
someone can start using to change their belief system around deserving money?
Yeah. So the first step is the awareness, that we become aware of that these are the thoughts, that I think, where maybe I tell myself, Anna, I don't need that. I'm not worthy of that, or I don't deserve that. So the first step is to create the awareness and then make yourself understand that actually it's not true. And because the moment we question a belief, we don't believe it anymore. So the moment you question that and you say to yourself, wait a moment, is that really true that I don't deserve this, that I'm not worthy? And when you understand, no, it's not true, because I believe that we are divine spiritual beings, we have this divine spark within us, and we are abundance. That is our core, that life force that is running through us, that makes us being a human. That is abundance. That's the energy of abundance and prosperity. So that is the energy of really who you are. And you don't have to become anyone else to be rich or wealthy. You just need to connect to this energy within you in your heart. So when you understand that, and you can doubt your own belief about that you are not worthy, that is already a big step. And then I always recommend positive, empowering self-talk. And most powerful it is in front of the mirror. If you can connect with yourself in the mirror, look into your own eyes and tell yourself, I am worthy. I am worthy of money and riches. I deserve money and riches. I deserve to prosper, to thrive. And if you tell yourself that, like literally every day you go into the bathroom, every day you pass a mirror, or in the morning, look at yourself and say, I am enough. I am good enough. I am worthy. I am so worthy and deserving of money and riches. If you do that every day, I promise something will change how you see yourself, like your self-image, and what you believe about yourself.
I love that. And yeah, mirror work is just so powerful, definitely.
Yeah.
Earlier in the year, I did a self-love one. It wasn't around money, but just
Hmm.
looking at myself and telling myself how much I love myself,
Yeah.
like your whole energy just changes, and you do believe it by the time, you might set yourself so many days, or you can, it's great if you can do it continuously even after you set
Hmm.
the days.
Hmm.
But and if it's around money, whew, you know how much
Yeah.
more, like, awesome would that be to go, I deserve money, and then you start seeing
Yeah.
money popping in from unexpected places. I like to backtrack because as I asked that question, another question popped in. I'm like, I should have asked you that first, but it doesn't matter. It's meant to be. Um, can you share, how does someone not feeling they deserve money like show up? What does it look like? Because I know
Mm.
it can be different for everyone, but there might be some thread so that people
Yeah.
like that were like, oh, I think I deserve money, because,
Yeah.
consciously we all think we deserve money, but it's the subconscious. So what might it present like as someone who doesn't think they deserve money?
Yeah. Yeah. That's also a really good question. And also, of course, it's not just the belief that I'm not worthy or I'm not deserving of money, but maybe I can give even some more examples how these money blocks or negative money beliefs show up really in our life and in our business. So when it comes to not feeling worthy, you can think back in your life on situations where you maybe so wanted to do something, in your life, in your business, you so wanted to do something and you knew, would be amazing, would be a great step, would be fun, would move you forward. Maybe investing in an amazing coach in your business, maybe go traveling, maybe, I don't know, purchase something good for yourself, or maybe just, whatever it is, relax, take that time out. But you didn't do it because you felt like, actually, I'm not worthy of that. I shouldn't do that, So I think that is the biggest point, how that shows up. It is really that we hold ourselves back, that we don't do the things we would love to do because we feel like we are not worthy of that. We are not good enough. So that is how this money block can show up. And when it comes to, money and income and in your business, it's like, pretty similar, that you maybe don't do some great steps in your business where they would move you forward, because also you are lacking the confidence, or you feel like, I'm not good enough to do that. I'm not worthy of getting on a podcast with this amazing person, or maybe you are scared to take on an amazing client because this person maybe earns already more than you, or is way more famous than you. But still, you've got your unique skills and business where you can greatly help that person. But you feel like, oh, I can't, I'm not worthy. I'm lesser than, I'm not good enough for that. So we basically put a limit on what we can do. And just to give some other examples how these money blocks can show up, like, it all comes back to our childhood. What did we learn and hear as a child? And if, for example, in a family, speaking about money was a no-go, like money was a taboo topic, which happened very often, then as an adult and now as a business owner, you might have some difficulties really openly having money conversations. But as a business owner, you need to. It's like you need to be very open and clear about your finances, or your money goals, or anything around money. Or if, for example, as a child, you had a negative experience asking for money, and that can be a seemingly unimportant situation, you just wanted to have some money for, I don't know, a little toy, or to buy yourself an ice cream, and you got scolded. But scolded in a way where that got stuck with you, and emotionally you really felt bad about asking for money. Then guess what? Nowadays you can have difficulties feeling guilty when asking for money. Also means when billing your clients. So I think that's pretty clear. That's how the money blocks can really show up. And the scarcity thinking, the money blocks, like our relationship to money, it really affects every area of our life. And that is also why I'm so passionate about it, because no matter, of course, I mean, in our business, it completely affects us. But also when you think about it, relationships, it affects our relationships, or our health. Depending on how our relationship to money, if we feel absolutely worthy investing in ourselves, in best healthy food, or whatever we think we deserve, like going for a massage or a retreat or traveling, all the things we want to do, they require money. So if we have somehow a scarcity thinking and energy, and we are in lack, and we are in this not unbalanced relationship with money, it just affects, I would say, every day, every area of our life.
Yeah, definitely. I think money, money, I don't want to say control, but like, it really does affect all the different areas of our life. As you were saying that, I want to ask you around the scarcity piece, because you you talk more about women in business, so we'll
Yeah.
go that way. Say, all right, there's someone. No, say for example, I really want to do something. I really want to work with this coach, right? But
Mm.
I really don't have the funds.
Yeah.
And, there's that scarcity is like, I want to invest in myself, but where do I get the money from? Like, how can someone work around that? Because in reality, they don't have the funds. So,
Yes.
how
Mm.
does that all tie in with money blocks?
Yeah, I totally get it. And that is also, yeah, a question I got asked before, because of course, the reality is that many of us don't have an abundance of money and financial freedom, and there is some scarcity and it is tight. And I also don't have the complete financial freedom to do whatever I want, I mean, there are limits and still. And so, yeah, what can someone do who is in a reality of not having enough money to invest or to purchase what they would like to? So, first of all, of course, it can be that certain investments are maybe then for later because you can't force it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. I believe that if you really want to find a way, you will. Because very often, for example, when it comes to investing in something, I mean, there are payment plans. There are maybe other people to support. There are, yeah, people or options where you can maybe borrow the money. Or you say, okay, not now, I save up for this, and then in a half year or in a year, I can afford that. But the main point for me here is that you can always do something. Maybe it's then not that coach and that program or that other investment, but you find something that you can afford in that moment, because I mean, there are different things on all levels, right? If we stay just like with coaches or, women in business, there are people to support you, coaches, programs, courses, for all budgets. So if someone really wants to move forward, invest, even if it's a low amount, there are possibilities to do that. So there, I really think it's about finding a way that works for you. And if you really want, you find a way. And also what I want to say here is, before we focus completely on the money, especially if someone doesn't have enough, we need to really focus on what we have. And we need to focus on our own energy, on how we feel in our daily life. Because as we know, money is a tool. Money is this tool of exchange in our world here. But underneath that, money is so much more. And probably you've heard, like anyone who is listening, I'm sure you've heard, money is an energy. Money is a frequency, So what does it mean? Like, I believe, from what I feel, and also when I speak with others or my clients, I believe that the energy of money is actually the same as this divine life force that's flowing through us. When we connect to our heart, when we expand our own energy, we can feel amazing. And for everyone else, for everyone, it's another situation. But I don't know, if you're outside in nature in the sunshine, or maybe on a mountain with a view, or on the ocean, or wherever, where you get this feeling, oh, wow, and you feel like you take the deepest breath ever and you expand your energy. This energy is connected to money, to the energy of money. And I would say now, no matter how much lack there is in your physical reality, there are things that you can be grateful for. There are things that you love, that you value, and there are things that bring you joy. And that is where we need to shift our focus. Because the more we can really spend time in this energy of, wow, thank you, even if it's just the sunshine, or the good food that you have on your table today, or the home that you live in, or I don't know, your children, doesn't matter, the little things, maybe the book that you are reading, or that I have this amazing computer here right in front of me, you know, the more we can really find the gratitude for all that and then feel the joy and the excitement, the better we feel. And that expands our energy and that brings in the abundance. And when we can then connect this feeling with money, you know, for example, because the problem is the focus. So many people, they focus on lack. They focus on what they don't have. They focus on their expenses, on all the money that goes out and all the bills they have to pay. But if we say, wait a moment, there's so much that you have. There's so much that you received all your life. There's so much that you still will receive in the future. And when you pay your bills, you receive something in return. It's not that the money is just going, you know, you receive something in return. And if we can focus on that and again, feel the gratitude and the joy for that, this is the feeling that we need to build up in our life, in our daily life. And that is what we can do, even if we don't have much money in our physical reality right now.
I love that perspective shift that you shared,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not focusing on the money, because it is so true. We get so focused on, I don't have that much money, I don't have this, or that person has that, but I don't have it. If we can just bring it
Mhm.
back to gratitude every single time, like,
Yeah.
just how do we feel in this current moment with everything that you have? And I love that you mentioned, when you pay the bills, you actually did get something in exchange. You got
Yeah. Yeah.
electricity in exchange, you
Exactly.
got water, clean water in exchange,
Yeah.
but we just think, oh, we have to pay the electricity bill and the water bill. You know?
Yeah.
So I just
Exactly.
really,
Yeah.
really love that you brought that up to just remind us. Yes. Yeah. I just absolutely love, love, love everything that you just shared with us, because it is so important to bring it back to expanding, like you said, expanding our energy, because money is
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you talked about money is energy and expanding our energy, how when we expand our energy, it ties in with money. How, I know we shouldn't just solely focus on money, but how do we tap in so that as we are expanding our own energy, that it starts bringing in, maybe not just money, but like just the abundance? Like, how does it all work that when we expand, those things come in?
Um, I think the key here is that when we are in a different mindset and in this expansive energy where we feel good, um, we take aligned action. We take different action, because the thing is, our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings, they drive our actions, and our actions, they influence the results and the events in our life. So that means if you have beliefs that really support us, if you are excited, if you tell yourself, wow, I love that so much, I'm so excited for this, whatever it is, you feel how you can't wait to get it done, or to get going with this. It doesn't matter if it's me coming on a podcast, or creating my next event, or a client's call. And that is where you open your mind. You have ideas, you find ways, you become you get all the inspiration and you get creative. And when you are in that state, you act in a completely different way. Also, the conversations you have with people, they are different, because our energy goes with everything. And it's actually not just so much about the words that we speak, it's really about the energy that goes with that, with the messages we send, with the sales calls we do, with however, we interact with others. So that's the main point. We show up in a different way, so much more with excitement. Yeah, as I said, we are inspired, we have different thoughts, it's just flowing. And I think that's the key, that is what we can then call taking aligned action, really taking those action that actually move us forward. I hope that answers your question.
Mm. Yeah, it does. And it makes a lot of sense where, like you said, our thoughts influence our emotions, which,
Yeah.
takes us forward with our actions. So, yeah. And, as much as I love to believe that we can meditate and manifest what we want, uh, we do unfortunately need to take those aligned actions to
Yes.
actually get anywhere. Um,
Yeah.
as contrary to what some people lead us to believe.
Yeah, I want to
So,
say a sentence to that, because it is, our imagination is our superpower, and it's so great. All these pictures that we can create in our mind, and then we feel amazing. But you can sit as long as you want on your couch, imagine to be on the beach, for example, and, you hear the waves, you feel the warm sunbeams and the wind, and it's all amazing. If you don't get up and purchase that plane ticket and go to the airport and sit in that plane, you're not going to manifest that on your couch, no matter what you do,
yeah, I know. It's just funny how some people teach us that we can just manifest by sitting there. Although, like, this thought just a silly thought came into my mind. I wonder if I just keep meditating and thinking about people just throwing money at me to buy my course, whether that would just people would just find me without me doing anything.
They might, I mean, there is power behind meditating and imagining things. But even then, you need to get on a call with that person. You need to still take some action. Otherwise, nothing will happen.
Yeah, definitely. There is always some action step because even
Yeah,
if, say, you have an evergreen course that's just on a website, you still needed to build that website for someone to
yeah,
actually pay you money.
yeah,
So there is always something that needs that aligned action. I love that because I don't think we get reminded enough that it's the aligned action. Do you mind actually
yeah.
sharing what aligned action means? Because
Mhm.
I think as women and the feeling of not feeling worthy, we tend to make ourselves very busy, but
Mhm.
that busyness may not be aligned action. Can you share what that actually means to take aligned action?
Yeah, yeah. So I would say that really 80% of making things happen is our inner world, the mindset, the energy, our relationship to money. And the 20% is taking action, taking aligned action. So the action is important. It's not that we can say, oh, yeah, it's just 20%, it doesn't matter. No, it is very important. But the point is, the 80%, if they are not, let's say, on track, if our thoughts, our beliefs don't support what we want, and energetically, we are not aligned with our goals and with what we are creating, with who we are becoming, then we take messy actions. We don't have clarity, we don't have goals, we don't really know what we are doing. We just do anything just to do something. And that doesn't move us forward. So aligned action is really, if you have a direction, you have goals, you know what to do to move into that, into that direction. And then you believe in yourself that yes, you can do that. You see yourself literally achieving your goals and succeeding, and you show up with confidence. You um you can go into this abundant vibe, like all these things, so that you actually align yourself with what you want with what you are creating. If you take action from that place, this is what I call taking aligned action. And then you can work or act very intentional. You can be very productive. And that brings you also out of stress or overwhelm or, just feeling like it's too much, which I hear often and where I've been as well. So we can relax more in that state
Yeah.
when we have the clarity. And yeah, it all starts in our mind. Having a clearer mind and being more relaxed inside, being very intentional, that is where we can take aligned action.
Yeah. I like that word intentional. It's like you said, when it's all messy action where it doesn't really do anything to move us closer to what we desire, then, well, what is the point of taking the action? It's just something you're doing
Yeah,
to keep yourself busy. Yeah.
exactly.
And I see so many women do that. And I mean, I've been there. I still sometimes do it when I get into that, mindset. And, now that I've done so much work, it's like being able to recognize it quicker and pull myself out. But
Mm.
yeah. Do you find that sometimes you might go back to that as well? I mean,
Oh,
like we said,
definitely.
um, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't experience overwhelm anymore or stress or, money blocks or worries coming in. I think, or some fears. I think this is all part of life. We are all humans. And really, it's not about completely getting rid of the fear or eliminating all the money blocks and, getting really rid of all that. It is more about really learning to how to navigate through that, how to accept that there's fear, there's tension, there's stress, but you can so powerfully connect to yourself that you say, okay, that's all there. But wait a moment. I connect back to myself and I calm myself down. I come back to the present moment because in the present moment, there is no overwhelm, there is no stress. That's just a state of mind. And coming back to myself into that more relaxed state, um, and then taking certain actions. And I know what to tell myself. I know how powerfully I can influence my own mind, and so I know how to deal with this. I know how to navigate through that. But of course, I go into all these thoughts and emotions. I just know how to stop myself and to get out of it quite quickly.
Yeah. It's good to know that you're a real human.
Yeah. Oh,
Messy like all of us.
oh,
But
yeah.
it like yeah, we just as we do more inner work, then we can get ourselves and recognize it faster. Like you said, the
Mm,
first step is that awareness,
yeah.
as we were talking at the beginning. Um, do you mind sharing? Uh, you were saying just now that you know what to say to yourself, or what you need to do to
Hmm.
get out of that overwhelm. Do you mind sharing, your process with us, or maybe something that you do with your clients? Because I'm sure this will be very useful to anyone
Yeah.
listening right now.
Yeah. So there are a couple of things that are helpful right in those moments where, we feel stressed. Stress and overwhelm, as I said, is a state of mind. That is when we think about all the things at once. So the first step is really to come back to the present moment. So for me, that is just like, just, let it all out. Just really take a deep breath. Just breathe into my heart and intentionally with the out breath, just letting it all go. And then actually, you just have to think of a word. For example, I think then relaxation, relax. Just when you think of that word, and I don't tell myself a lot of things, but just relaxation, calm, already that. When you think again, you take a deep breath, relaxation, relax, calm. I mean, I've done that often. So for me, straight, my mind even quiets, because the words we tell our mind listens. Our mind straight goes into what we tell it. And the thing is that so very often people get into this loop of thoughts, so quickly that, oh, I'm stressed. I don't know what to do. I'm overwhelmed, all the things. And that makes it worse. If you can just interrupt that and say, relax, relaxation, that can help already a lot. And from there, step by step, really choosing, no matter how much you have to do, choosing to do just one thing. Focus on one next thing that you have to do and take it step by step.
Mm. Such a great reminder for me. And I'm sure everyone that's, gonna catch this
Yeah.
replay later on, or whoever's listening right now. But when you said relaxation and calm, I was like, oh, like I could feel my
Yeah, that
body
is what
just go.
happens.
It is the energy yeah, it's the energy behind those words, isn't it? That we kind of just is to remind
Yeah,
ourselves, just breathe and chill out,
yeah,
Yeah, I love
exactly.
that.
And one more thing,
Yes.
sorry, that we can do is zoom out. Imagine yourself, you zoom out from the situation, because we get very much drawn into that situation and that seems to be everything. And when we can imagine, you just basically, you lift yourself out of that situation, you leave the situation, the house, even the village, you even see suddenly the whole planet there. And then you feel like, oh, that's such a little problem. That's such a small situation, And that's also where you can put some distance between you and the situation and the stress. And you feel like, then when you come back into it, you feel like, okay, actually, it's not that big. It's not everything. I can manage one thing, one step at a time, and I'll get through this.
Mm, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, yeah, the one thing at a time, again, very important because
Yeah,
as women especially, we tend to like to multitask as well. So
yeah, yeah.
that probably doesn't help the situation very much at all. Yeah. So Yara, we talked about clearing money blocks. We have talked about unlocking earning potential, but can you expand a bit more on that? Because okay, how do we unlock it? Because yep, we talked about clearing money blocks, but I'm sure there's probably other things um, apart from clearing money blocks and expanding our energy that you can share with us.
Yeah, so I mean, our potential. Marissa Peer, my big teacher, she says our potential expands as we move towards it. So that means we never know our true potential because it constantly expands. That means we are actually limitless, right? So unlocking our earning potential, for me, what I mean with that is that as the person that you are in your current reality, and as far as you can expand yourself, as far as you can, with your current beliefs, with your minds, just with your abilities to give your best, to show up as the best version of yourself, that is, yeah, that's basically the best you can do or be right now and today. So to unlock that, to unlock your earning potential, to me means really showing up as that best version of yourself. And that is a very high intention. That doesn't mean that you are perfect. That doesn't mean, you do it all right today, or that, you shouldn't be messy, or like all the things that can go wrong in a day, or emotional, or you just have a shitty day. That is all fine and that's all normal. But as long as you practice this awareness around your thoughts and your feelings, and you are aware of, who you are and the influence of the actions that you take as well, then you are doing your best. And when it comes to your earning potential, when you, as much possible on that day, in every moment, connect to your vibration, your abundant vibe. That's what I spoke about before, this energy in our heart where we feel like we can open up, we can expand, we can feel excitement and gratitude, and we can feel like, wow, life is good, no matter where you are or what is. Life is good and my business is good. And I'm also, the money that I have, I'm grateful for it, even if it's not like 100,000s or millions or whatever. But when you can come back into this vibe, and then also, of course, do the healing work, whatever that is for you, that you have to work on, or clear money blocks, or have a coach to work with on that, or a therapist, or whatever it is for you, that is where I think is the best you can do. Does that answer your
I love
question?
that. Yeah, it does. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm just looking at the time, and our audience, we have an audience member who um was watching, but she left a message before she left. She's like, "This is wonderful, such a beautiful way to begin my day. Thoughts, feelings, aligned actions." And then she said
Yeah.
she will catch the rest of this conversation on the replay. Thank you to us both. So thank you, Lorna, for tuning in. I know she was excited when you posted on Facebook. So yeah, she was here definitely.
Yeah.
But but no other questions at this point. But so we'll continue our conversation. But it's good to know that just us talking today has brightened and helped someone's day begin. Help someone begin their day with inspiration. So we've talked about all the things today. About clearing money blocks, expanding, your potential, unlocking your earning potential, and that money isn't the focus. It is really all
Yeah,
about focusing on who you are and who you want to become, and then from that point, then taking aligned action. And
exactly.
yes, and how to get out of the overwhelm that we get into. No matter how enlightened you might be, you can still get into overwhelm. So yeah, thank you so much for this beautiful conversation, Yara. But I'll love for you to just share, a last piece of golden nugget for our audience. What would you like them to take home with them? Like a message that you'd like
hmm
them to take home with them?
Yeah, so I think I want to share what I do every day. And that is a simple practice. Well, simple for me, but I think everyone can do that. If you imagine yourself in your desired reality, and that can be in half year, in 1 year, in 5 years, just imagine you have your goals achieved. That can be your monthly income, or living in the new home, or doing all the trips that you want, or, all the things you want for your children. It doesn't matter. Or the impact, the clients you serve, or maybe if you want to speak on stage, the huge audience that you impact. So when you have this goal or this desired reality, you just close your eyes for a moment and you feel into that. You imagine yourself being there on stage, speaking to the people, or having all the clients where you transform their lives, or having that monthly income goal achieved. You have made it. And you feel into that with so much gratitude and excitement. And you feel like, wow, I've made it. I am amazing. I can do this. I am worthy of this success or of this freedom that this brings me, you know? So that is something everyone can do. And by connecting with your heart on your feeling level, with what you really want, as if it's there, you know, with so much gratitude and love and joy, that's how you bring it into your life. So yeah, that feeling in your heart of what you really want, connect to that as often as possible.
Ooh, thank you. That is such a, yeah, that's such a beautiful share and tip for our audience to really start tapping into their desires and feeling that is, that it's actually here in their reality to bring it in. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, Yara, if people want to find out more about you or, work with you, talk to you, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, so the best place is on Facebook. Just on my Facebook profile, Jara Geipel. You can just send me a message. I'm happy to connect with anyone who is interested in anything that I spoke today, or just, I'm very easy to talk to. So just send me a message, find me on my profile. Also, I have a Facebook group. The link is also in my bio. Female coaches clear money blocks and increase income. That is a place where I share a lot of value and support, where I also regularly run impactful online events, free events. That's a really good place if you want to know more about, my offers, my teachings, and just to connect. Yeah, thank you so
Amazing.
much. It's been really amazing to be here again in this podcast, in this conversation. And yeah, I love your podcast. I love to be here with you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Yara. It's been amazing. I love, chatting with you, and you share such great insights, and you've got so much, experience and knowledge. Thank you for this beautiful conversation. I've definitely, learnt a lot from you today, and I'm sure, everyone that's going to be listening to the replay or, on Spotify or Apple, watching on YouTube, will learn a lot from our conversation. So thank you once again for coming back on. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.